Welcome to this explainer. I'm absolutely thrilled to have all you focused learners here with me today, because we are about to look at pharmaceutical quality assurance in a completely new light. We're going to explore a major paradigm shift regarding something that typically causes a massive amount of anxiety in our industry: mistakes, or more specifically, deviations. In our highly regulated world, perfection is pretty much expected, right? But what if our pursuit of perfection is actually blinding us to our greatest tool for improvement? So instead of viewing these deviations as a source of panic, we're going to learn how to view them through a really powerful, transformative lens: the lens of humility.
Every deviation has something to teach us. I really want you to think about that for a second. What we so often dread, the sudden alarm bells, the unexpected test results, those dreaded out-of-specification reports, is actually our greatest teacher in disguise. It's almost a bit mysterious, isn't it, that the very thing we try so incredibly hard to avoid in manufacturing and quality control is holding the exact knowledge we need to achieve the perfection we're striving for? Turns out, our systems are talking to us. We just have to be willing to listen.
Section 1. The Great QA Misconception. Let's look at a fundamental error.
Okay, let's dive into this. We've all been there. A deviation pops up and the immediate gut reaction is panic. It's that traditional, honestly deeply flawed mindset that a deviation equals a failure. It triggers this instant defensive posture in us. But we need to shatter that misconception right here, right now. A deviation equals feedback. It is absolutely not a failure. It's simply the system communicating with us, giving us raw, unfiltered data about how things are actually operating under real-world conditions. And this brilliantly illustrates the point. Let's redefine the term right now, based on our source material. A deviation is a signal telling us something about our process, our controls, or our system that we didn't fully understand. It's shining a bright, undeniable spotlight on a blind spot we didn't even know we had. This is vital information. It tells us exactly where the boundaries of our current knowledge end, and, as we know in the world of pharma quality, actionable information is literally the ultimate power.
Section 2. The power of humility. Let's break down the mental framework we need here.
Humility is what allows us to set our egos, our titles, and our defensiveness aside to ask 4 really profound questions. First, what did we miss? Second, what is the process trying to tell us? Third, how can we make the system stronger? And finally, what can we learn before this happens again? Notice how curious and open these questions are. They aren't defensive at all. They don't point fingers. They represent an open invitation to continuous improvement. By asking these, we're admitting we don't know everything, and well, that is exactly where true learning begins.
Moving on to Section 3. Blame versus learning cultures in corporate environments.
Now, what's really interesting about this is the stark contrast. Organizations with a blame culture naturally hide mistakes. I mean, if a deviation is viewed as a punishable failure, human psychology pretty much guarantees that people will sweep it under the rug to protect themselves, right? Contrast this with organizations operating under a learning culture, where teams actively investigate them. I want you to take a hard look at your own workplace culture right now. Which environment does it actually resemble? Because hiding mistakes is how quality systems slowly degrade, while investigating them with open eyes, that is how systems evolve and mature.
Section 4. Discovering the truth. This is our ultimate goal.
So, the crucial point is this. The best quality professionals don't try to prove they were right. They try to discover the truth. Just let that sink in for a second. Humility isn't a weakness. Actually, it takes incredible strength. It's the absolute willingness to accept that no process is perfect. If your primary goal when opening an investigation is simply to prove you are right all along, well, you're going to ignore the vital feedback the deviation is trying to offer you. The pursuit of truth, wherever it leads, is the true pursuit of quality.
Because when you actively seek the truth without ego, every single deviation transforms. It literally ceases to be a frustrating nuisance and becomes this incredible, multi-layered opportunity. It's a chance to physically improve the manufacturing process itself and strategically strengthen your overarching quality management system. It allows us to implement real, robust root cause analysis to actually prevent recurrence, rather than just slapping a Band-Aid on a symptom. And ultimately, the whole shebang leads to our most important goal of all: better protecting patients. This is the exact mechanism of how we get safer batches. Which brings us to Section 5, protecting the next patient. Let's look at the macro-level stakes.
Let's see how this builds into a causal ripple effect of quality by humility. Step 1. Every deviation is a lesson. We've established that for sure. It's vital feedback, not a failure. Moving to Step 2.
Every lesson strengthens the system. When we investigate the truth with humility, we build smarter, much better controls. And finally, the absolute most important part. Step 3. Every stronger system protects another patient. Your humility on the manufacturing floor, or out in the testing lab, or even just sitting at your desk writing a root cause report translates directly to life-saving patient safety. It really is that direct, and it is that deeply important.
Which leaves us with this final lingering thought. What has been the most valuable lesson you've learned from a deviation or investigation? I want you to really think about that as you walk away from this explainer today. Look back at your own career. Think about that specific time a process didn't go as planned, and instead of hiding it, you investigated it. What truth did you discover? And whose life did you potentially protect as a result? Keep that humility, keep seeking the truth, and keep learning. Thank you so much for joining me to explore this incredible topic today.